Here in Bowie's Creek, North Carolina. It's a battle for first place in the Big South as the 4-0 Longwood Lancers off to their best start ever coming to Bowie's Creek to face the Campbell Fighting Camels. Welcome at courtside with the Hall of Fame coach, Wanda Watkins. I'm Evan Budrovich. Longwood scores more points than any team in this conference. Campbell allows the fewest points in the Big South. So what excites you most about the contrast in styles tonight?
I've been waiting all day for this game. It's got to be one of the premier games in the league. You know, we'll see how the offense matches up against the defense. We should have us a showdown.
This is a rematch of last year's Big South semifinal. Campbell won that game, but here tonight, Campbell's without its senior guard, Shai Tui. They have to get everyone involved. And Longwood head coach Rebecca Tillett circled this game on the calendar. They want a win tonight. What a dynamic matchup.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I'm sure they do. I'm sure Campbell wants to win. No doubt about that. Longwood's going to probably try and extend their defenses, and Campbell, on the other hand, may try to force Longwood into some early foul trouble. We'll see how the showdown goes.
These are dynamic offenses this year. Campbell's club at 69 points, very improved scoring the basketball, but they are without Shai Tui tonight, so lean on the all-conference forward and Taya Bolden, and Brittany Staves, number 14, has been huge. Taking on a Longwood team, 3 players in double figures, including Kyla McMakin, the second leading scorer in the Big South. And away we go. Longwood starts with the basketball. A club that just swept UNC Asheville last week. A 4-0 start has never happened in Longwood history. A huge growth for fourth-year head coach Rebecca Tillett.
Longwood trying to get McMakin involved early on here.
Here's Tre'Dasia Smith on the shot fake. That's the point guard for Longwood. 5 assists per game. Calhoun late, and the clock is swatted away.
Nice block by Price that time on the freshman Calhoun.
Here's your Sunbelt Reynolds starting attack. No Thule tonight, so Michaela Coleman, her second straight start. The senior guard, that's a huge production, her 25th career start.
A very good defensive guard for Campbell.
She is the assignment of McMakin tonight, who gets a block herself. Good defense early. Tre'Dasia Smith sprints up the court and heads to the free throw line. Now look at Tre'Dasia being aggressive here in year 5, the Madisonville, Texas product.
Really well-rounded point guard for Longwood. Quite a playmaker at times for them and can really thread the needle.
Tre'Dasia Smith, more assists than any player in the Big South. And right now, 15th in the country in assists. Getting it done herself at the free throw line there.
You got to be unselfish when you hand that ball out and distribute the basketball 5.2 times in a basketball a game. That's a lot of assists.
Wanda's a former point guard herself in college. It's an admirable fact when this team in Longwood, not a high assist total team, just 11 per game, but Tre'Dasia does so much of it offensively.
That she does. Longwood extending their defenses early in the game, really putting some pressure on Campbell on the full court and even on the half court.
Luana Serrano gets her first bucket, and that's been a huge offensive presence. She had 10 assists on Saturday at Charleston Southern. A little more offensive-minded tonight.
Talk about talking about assists. 10 assists. That's something to be really proud of. Very unselfish, underrated player in the Big South Conference, in my opinion.
Truly a matchup of 2 of the elite point guards in this league, and 2 of the best offenses as well, as Bree Johns gets the friendly bounce. And that's another nice presence, the Alexandria, Virginia product. Her first year with the program from Southeast Missouri State.
Yeah, nice dribble drive down on the baseline by Johns.
Rebecca Tillett called her a hidden gem in the transfer portal. Originally recruited by her staff at William & Mary in Navy, and now comes to Longwood for her final year.
Funny, what goes around comes around sometimes, isn't it? That transfer portal is something.
Faith Price late in the clock hits another 3.
Look out if Price is hot for Campbell.
Ranks 15th in the country in three-point shooting. Another fast start tonight.
Coming off of a game where she was 5 for 10 from three-point territory.
Since the start of the new year, Faith Price is shooting 60% from deep, Wanda. That's unfathomable in the first 4 games.
It really is. She has ignited for Campbell.
Kyla McMakin is fun to watch and hits that jumper.
And she really is. What a natural for Longwood.
McMakin, the 23rd player to reach 1,000 career points in Longwood history. That's in 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And here she is now at 17 points a game, the top scorer for the Lancers. One area Rebecca Tillett's seen her biggest growth is on the defensive end. She does get blown by there with Coleman's first bucket.
Hey, that's a good move, and that's going to be important for Coleman to do that, to try to get to the basket and hit some of those layups for Campbell in their offensive sets.
Coleman got her first start of the season on Saturday. 4 rebounds and no points in the win at Charleston. You see Saranya's face. She wanted to dish it out. Now finds Price, who hit her first. Comes up short that time. And a tough rebound will go to Longwood.
Good battle that time by McMakin and Coleman.
So Ronnie Fisher, entering his first matchup at Longwood, said this is the toughest test he's seen all year in conference. How does his team look to respond tonight?
Well, Campbell's been impressive because in their adversity, when they have someone go down, somebody else is stepping up to the plate. A true making of a good team. We'll see if they can do that tonight against this very talented Longwood team without Campbell playing without Tooley.
McMakin forces one up, and the rebound for Bolden, who leads the conference in boards, throws it ahead to Nuremberg, and she can't hit the layup.
Oh, tough break for Campbell because Nuremberg really got out on the floor quickly that time.
Nice finish from Kennedy Calhoun, the true freshman. Reigning freshman of the week steps up.
Really impressive player for Longwood. Hard to believe, you know, not only can she score, but my goodness, 45 steals already, just getting started in the conference play.
First foul on the Lancers early. That's on Akila Smith. Something to watch tonight for Longwood. They commit more fouls than any team in the Big South. And Coach Rebecca Tillett, she's challenged her team to play better defense without fouling. Big
key for them going into this. Campbell running a nice flex cut on the baseline off that inbound play.
And you wonder with a layup like that for Nuremberg how much the lack of fouls may get in Longwood's head defensively, trying to not make a mistake.
Yeah, time will tell.
We'll stay here on this end of the court. When these teams met in the Big South semifinal, Campbell absolutely dominated, allowing just 39 points. Rebecca Tillett said that was an embarrassment for her program. And these kids for the Lancers have circled this game on the calendar as a huge conference matchup. With a missed 3 there by Johns.
Gotta respect the mentality that Tillett has built at Longwood with her program.
Built the team to their best start in an entire decade in the Big South, 4-0. And it's no fluke this year. Offense was key to last year's success at 80 points a game. More defensive-minded this year on tape.
Two talented basketball teams in a lot of ways. This is going to be such an exciting game.
Early 5 minutes of this first quarter. No Cheyenne Tooley, the senior guard for Campbell tonight, battling an ankle injury. So who will step up offensively? Nuremberg nearly blocked. Bolden draws contact, and there's Akila Smith. Nice save by Bolden.
Shot clock's going down.
Down to 2. And Price misses the bank shot. I tell you, Akila Smith was on the opposite side of the lane. Even got in the head there of Price.
Yeah, her athleticism is phenomenal.
First team all-conference in the spring. The shot block leader in the Big South. She can do it all. Here's Smith in the lane. Tredasia with 7. Backs down Saranyu. Draws contact and a jump ball. Great defense from Saranyu.
Really good defense, and you know, a tough assignment for her. She's a good defender for Campbell. Coleman a good defender. They've got some defensive weapons out there.
We got a 1-point ball game and a battle for first in the Big South.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion, obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
Folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive
Babe,
heartwarming
it's
story
8 a.m.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
Big things are happening this year across the South, from the mountains to the coast. The fast are getting faster. The strong are getting stronger. And the best is getting better. Get ready to raise your expectations. Get ready for something big. Ingles, a proud sponsor of Big South Sports.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
This Big South broadcast is brought to you in part by Hercules Tires, right on our strength. Ingles, low prices, love the savings. Sunbelt Rentals, we have equipment for that. And First Citizens Bank, forever first. Here in the Sidegore Arena, Campbell and Longwood meet for the 27th time. Wanda Campbell has dominated this series, winning 14 of 15 here at home. However, last year it was Kyla McMakin and Longwood with a last-second buzzer-beating win.
Yeah, two really very close regular season games decided by a total of 3 points.
Postseason, a different story. 15-point Campbell win as Nuremberg misses the deep two. And it'll go the other way.
Interesting watching Coleman down there battling with Smith on the boards.
So this Campbell team, they've dominated under Ronnie Fisher. 9 of 11 wins against Longwood. And Rebecca Tillett circled that from day one when scouting this matchup. Longwood motivated for a win, and really to see how they fare against the top-notch teams in the Big South.
Oh yeah, coaches, we coaches pull everything we can out and motivate our players to get them ready to go.
Here's Brooke Anya, the fresh forward, checking in. Setting up McMakin, who airballs the three. And a rare off start for the conference's leading scorer. McMakin averaged just a steady 19 a game. And for Kyla, that's what she can do any night.
Yeah, you think about it. One's averaging 17, the other's almost 17 at 16.7. That's quite a duo.
And Calhoun hits the corner three. The true freshman with her 13th three of the year.
Okay, she's got quite a player for Longwood.
Wanda, that's
so
5
impressive.
players with 10 or more threes. Such a balanced three-point team.
Yeah, absolutely.
How does that put stress on a defense?
You got to be guarding all over the floor. And you can't help off a whole lot because when you do, it gets you in trouble. So you can't get beat on the ball. That's
why Longwood has won 4 straight, averaging 75 points a game in conference. Rebecca Tillett reminded us this week, her team had lost 6 straight entering conference play. It was about riding the ship, staying steady, and boys, it paid off here in January.
Well, and you can do that with a veteran team.
As Serrano gets a turnover and Price the other way.
Oh, you can really with a veteran team, you can bounce back from things like that. It's a little tougher when you're a young team, but Longwood with a very veteran team and showing their resiliency in
these two
winning
teams
their last 4.
Return at least 90% of their scoring. Those are the only 2 in the Big South to do so. And that's why these 2 clubs were picked 2nd and 3rd in the preseason. A lot of expectations for these units. What a steal by Akila Smith, who, by the way, has 30 steals this year, along with 45 blocks.
He's a solid defender, I'd say. What do you say?
Top 10 in the country in steals and blocks. That is a standalone stat for Akila Smith. Now Tredasia Smith off on the 3, and a foul here for Coleman. Nice effort from Kyla McMakin fighting for the rebound.
Such good sportsmanship with Coleman and McMakin patting each other, encouraging each other, playing against each other. That's what you like to see.
See both teams go to the bench. Adriana Shipp and Ann Hamilton-Leroy, the 6th man for Longwood, checks in. The junior guard, 8 points a game off the bench. A nice presence for Longwood.
Yeah, good, well-rounded player for Longwood. She can shoot it. She can deliver it.
And Rebecca Tillett said she's adopted that role as a 6th man so well, the best she's ever seen as a player. A full starter last year, moving to the bench this season.
You got to love a player like that just takes their role seriously and plays the way they're needed.
Clock down to 4. McMakin, nice fadeaway, and banks it home.
Oh, you think she called that one, Evan?
Making her case for Player of the Year in the Big South.
It's a backbreaker there.
29 seconds of great defense and 1 second to McMakin. 4 early points for the junior guard. Bolden kicks it out. Campbell wants to feed their top scorer in the post. Double figures per night. Saranya with 6. Tight defense from the true freshman. Kicks to Fuller. That's way off. How about the effort of Longwood defensively in this first quarter?
Yeah, they're really helping off on Bolden, which is making it difficult for her to score.
Calhoun nearly had it. And a tussle for the rebound goes to Fuller. Nice kick out. Price for 2. Figured she'd miss it too. She's been hitting every 3 this year, 47%.
It all but went in. Went in and came out, didn't it?
McMakin cuts through and is stripped. Campbell with numbers. Price back to Bolden. And there's Staves. Oh, can't hit. Finally gets kicked around in the final minute of this first quarter.
A good extra effort by Campbell landing those offensive rebounds.
And the open Fuller gives Campbell the lead. That stops a 3-minute drought.
What a game. What a game.
Rematch of last year's Big South semifinal. It's lived up to the billing in this first quarter. Now Serrano's turn to guard McMakin. She's coming off 2 straight 20-point performances at Asheville. And Staves with a steal. Time for Campbell here. Serrano on the run. That's a transition lane.
A good setup by Staves to draw that defender on her side.
So Wanda, that's 7 Campbell points off turnovers in the first quarter.
Campbell defense really paying off for them now at the end of this quarter.
When these teams met in the semifinal, Campbell was plus 20 in transition. Big reason why they won by 15. Nice steal from Bolden. 1 second left. No shot. A back and forth first quarter here in Buies Creek, North Carolina. Campbell leads by 3 as we head to the second. Stick around, guys. Plenty of good basketball here on ESPN+. Campbell leads by 3 in a matchup of undefeated teams in the Big South. And here we are 3 weeks into the Big South season. There's only a handful of undefeated teams left in this conference. Longwood, best start ever. Campbell sitting pretty at 2-0. Wanda, this game is a huge marker for who's going to have success in the Big South.
It's a really, really good test early on in the conference play for both these teams to kind of use as a measuring mark to see where they are. And it's living up to everything we said it was going to be thus far.
2 of the top 3 teams in the preseason, and let's face it, they've played like it, especially here in conference. What's been the biggest difference through 10 minutes?
I mean, both teams have played well. I think really the only difference is Campbell just hit one more three-pointer, and they're up by 3. So,
have 30 more minutes to figure this one out. So Tre'Dasia Smith brings it up the court. She has yet to have an assist in this game. That's very uncharacteristic for the conference's leader in dishes.
Good defensive stand by Campbell to keep Akila Smith from scoring that whole quarter.
Akila Smith goes right to work on the first possession.
I guess I might have spoke too soon and jinxed Campbell there, but that was a nice move.
Defensive player of the year in the conference gets her first bucket. Interesting, Ronnie Fisher does not put Bolden on Smith defensively. Leaves Brittany Staves there, a little undersized. Staves attacks the basket. Can't hit the floater. Remember, no Cheyenne Tooley, the all-conference guard, out with an ankle injury.
Both teams really playing with a good up-tempo.
Smith goes to work, and she heard the message to start the second quarter.
I tell you, that could be a big difference for Longwood if they get her involved, because she's so deadly. She can go to her right, she can go to her left equally well.
No points in the first, 4 early in this second quarter. Tre'Dasia setting it all up with her first assist as well. Fuller right to the basket. That's a tough layup on Smith, and it goes the other way. Campbell with its 4th turnover.
Tough break there for Campbell. Bolden had her hands on that offensive rebound, couldn't hang. Longwood really pushing the ball up the floor offensively, and
Longwood not afraid to play in transition. They're the top team in transition points. However, in this game, down 5 as Johns misses the 3. Nice steal by Ship, but that goes out of play. And Longwood's been able to force its pressure on the ball early.
Well, you know, what Ship's doing there is she's buying a little time for her teammates to get down the floor so Campbell can't run their fast break, and it worked. It was effective that time.
Rebecca Tillett prides her team on deflections and slowing down the opponent. You look at the numbers, and they don't tell the full story. 74 points a game allowed. But this includes games against Maryland.
Yeah.
Against
Tough
South
schedule.
Carolina, some top competition, and that's affected the overall point per game.
Tough schedule.
As Michaela Coleman turns it over. And the Longwood bench gets the call they wanted.
Yeah, I think they all worked on that down there.
Longwood says the key to their success is energy from the bench, and we saw it right there.
Yeah. Gotta have it.
For Campbell and Ronnie Fisher, he said it's about depth and balance scoring. Price leads all players with 5. No Shy Tui tonight, so scoring's up at a premium. Good kick out to Calhoun, who comes up short. And that foul's on Ship over the back. First foul for the redshirt sophomore.
Campbell with good defensive rebounding position that time. Watch the pressure by Longwood again.
How does that pressure make life difficult for Campbell?
Well, you can't move the ball up the floor as quickly unless you beat them. Unless you beat them on the ball, and just takes a little time off the shot clock. Now we're down at about 20 as they start their offense.
The true freshman Fuller draws the foul.
And it has a way of wearing on you if you do it throughout the entirety of a basketball game. Here we get a look, little body, little block.
Huge question in this game, how physical will the referees let both teams play?
Yeah, they're being very consistent.
Nice backdoor slip and blocked. There's Johns. Clock down to 5. Price looks up to Cernerberg. Whoa, this is late in the clock. And answered by Saranya.
Wow, perfect timing that time by Campbell. Saranya, again, such a heady player. She's got her mind in the game all the time. Makes really good decisions for Campbell and lofted that one right on the horn.
7 points for the senior guard. Now trying to guard McMakin, who takes her to school in the post, and an immediate timeout from Ronnie Fisher. He is furious.
Well, you know, they had her fronted. Just need a little help on the backside that time.
Tie ball game here in the second quarter. Plenty to watch when we come back here on ESPN+.
Big things are happening this year across the South, from the mountains to the coast. The fast are getting faster. The strong are getting stronger. And the best is getting better. Get ready to raise your expectations. Get ready for something big. Ingalls, a proud sponsor of Big South Sports.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
There's not a secret to what actually happens behind the scenes at a bank. Here at First Citizens, we're trying to educate the client in each step of what's actually going to happen, and actually have them make the educated decision around what steps and what options they utilize. We want to become that trusted advisor that actually guides them down that road, helping you reach your goals. That's Forever First.
Well, folks, it's only 8 a.m. and it's going to be another hot one. Today's high is 85 degrees with lows ranging in the upper 50s. Tomorrow's more of the same, plus some light wind coming in from the northeast. Coming up at 8:30, Paul's got an exclusive,
Babe,
heartwarming
it's
story
8 a.m.
Coming up next as well.
Fried chicken, better with Pepsi.
In sports,
we are used to an even playing field.
Unfortunately,
off the field,
court,
track,
Closed.
not all people are treated fairly.
In the Big South Conference,
we commit to using our voices
to oppose injustices and inequalities.
Join us as we champion change
towards ensuring even playing fields
in and out of sports.
The Big South Conference,
We're allies.
we're advocates,
where winners are made.
So Campbell is without senior scoring guard Cheyenne Tooley, looking to fill that production tonight. Bolden, Saranya, and Price, those are big shoes to fill for those three down low.
Three solid players, though, providing a great core for Campbell.
That core tonight has 12 points of the 19. Longwood playing tremendous defense early as Fuller breaks it down. Nice save by Tredasia, but she steps out.
Yeah, Fuller did a nice job coming off that screen, losing her defender.
The effort and energy from Longwood, it's a lot more evident than what we saw in the Big South semifinal, where the Lancers scored just 39 points.
Yeah, they're getting after it.
Fresh clock for the Camels. Longwood's held Campbell to 38% shooting. That is nearly 10 points below their average. Price, catch and shoot. Can't hit. And a big battle for the boards, won by Calhoun. Watching Akila Smith and Taya Bolden, the top two rebounders in the league. That's fun to watch.
It really is exciting.
There's a turnover for Akila off her foot.
Yeah, good help off the ball that time by Fuller. Another impressive young player for Campbell.
I tell you, in an empty arena, you hear every coaching adjustment, and what Ronnie Fish and Rebecca Tillett are barking back and forth. It's very evident tonight.
Yeah, we don't usually get all that, do we?
I'm not sure the coaches like that, but nonetheless,
Yeah.
it's a part of the game. Both teams bringing their own energy. Lone matchup of undefeated teams in the Big South tonight. So the winner sits in first place with some insurance as well. Price down to 6 is stripped by Calhoun. The true freshman runs the point, cuts through the lane, and lost it. Coleman up ahead. Nice pace in the second quarter. There's another turnover. Calhoun is everywhere, sets up Tre'Dasia Smith, who blows by Nuremberg and can't hit. So Campbell basketball, both teams aggressive in transition.
Yeah, a lot of effort going on out there.
Both teams asking for calls.
We don't get
sideline warning. So a sideline warning there for Rebecca Tillett. She has a neat relationship with her daughter, Isabel, who's on the traveling roster as a freshman this year. And that goes out of bounds, and now Ronnie Fisher has his thoughts for the officials.
I tell you, these officials, they got a tough job. These coaches really are working them. And
this crew is led by Karen Prieto, who's been officiating women's college basketball for 10 years plus. So this is
great basketball official, Karen.
Quite the conversation tonight. Let's see if Kyla McMakin can get going in the second quarter. Goes through 3 defenders, passes to Johns, and there's a block for Bolden. How about the defensive scrappiness tonight?
Really a lot. Yep.
That's an over and back. Longer with its 7th turnover of the game.
A lot of doubling down, a lot of tripling down, a lot of helping.
6 combined turnovers in the last 3 minutes. This has been a tight defensive game. And sometimes you see that and go, well, it's a bad basketball game. I think quite the difference. It's been very entertaining.
No, it's been very entertaining.
Nuremberg goes one-on-one. That's a tough angle. Kyla McMakin, 6 points and 3 rebounds tonight.
Watch out.
A dime to Smith, who runs the court for the lay-in.
Beautiful pass by McMakin that time. Smith, she's lanky. She can get out and run the floor.
Kyla McMakin, a score by trade, but developing her passing, that was nice. Campbell hasn't scored in 3 minutes. Where will the offense come from? Saranyu's turn with 8. Good kick out to Price, who's left wide open and can't hit the 3.
I'll tell you, every rebound is a battle.
Taya Bolden and Akila Smith, 2 of the best in the Big South. Open shooter is way off. Neither team's hit many 3s. 2 for a combined 15. It's been tough and physical basketball here in a matchup of undefeated Big South foes. Nuremberg's turn for 3.
She can hit it.
And that time she hits it. 5 points for the junior out of Luxembourg.
Nuremberg can step it up a notch like that. It'll really be an asset for her team tonight.
And this is a big ass. Svenya coming off ACL injury of her left knee. Now gets beat defensively, and Smith misses the lay-in. Nuremberg played just 7 minutes on Saturday. Big minutes tonight. Coleman unafraid of the nation's leading shot blocker. Oh my gosh.
I tell you, so athletic. So athletic.
A well-deserved break for Akila Smith.
Both teams probably looking for a break here, Evan. Both teams a little winded.
So you see the effort, you see the intensity from these clubs. 1-point ball game. Really, the defense has told the story in this first half.
Just a triage here of steals there. We see Saranya getting down the floor and executing, and stage, picking a pocket, and just a great all-out team effort.
Not to belabor the point, but that's without Shai Tooley, Campbell's top scorer and one of its best defenders. And Longwood's done the same with some hard defense, too. Combined 16 turnovers in this first half. And there's another off the leg of Price. How much has this physicality maybe impacted or slowed down the offenses for both teams?
Well, I mean, I think it has. I mean, we're almost 3 minutes under in the halftime, and we've just crossed the 20-point plateau with both teams, and it's been a very exciting basketball game. But I think the defense has created a lot of that excitement.
McMakin on the switch. Nice dump down to Anya, and another steal for Campbell. There's a foul on Adriana Shipp. A little bit upset there. That's her third foul with 2 minutes to go in the half. Let's see what Rebecca Tillett decides here with 2:25 to go.
Well, this could be big for Longwood if she picks up another one.
You got to take her out, right? I'm surprised that they waited that long.
Campbell may take the basketball to her.
Coleman, not a shooter by trade, and she travels. This is the challenge Ronnie Fisher has with this lineup, right? So you lose Shai Tooley. You bring in Michaela Coleman, more of a defensive player, not an offensive-minded player. It does condense the court a bit.
But I think Coleman can get to the basket, as she showed early in the half. She can get to the basket, and she can continue to try to get to the basket for those layups. She's really good at that in penetration. It will be helpful for Campbell.
You lose 10 points a game in scoring. You replace it, if you're Campbell, with Coleman, who has 2 tonight. But she does that so well, guarding McMakin, who beats her. 8 points for the junior forward.
Yeah, she kind of wormed her way to the basket that time, really finessed herself going to the basket that time.
Kyla McMakin, this past week, her 20th career game with 20 or more points. Does so much for the Longwood Lancers.
Guardy had a game this year where she scored 28 points against, I believe it was Duquesne.
That was in a last-second win as well. Bolden gets her first basket.
Hey,
it took
Bolden
a while.
Worming her way to the basket as well. Very similar move as to what we saw with McMakin the previous time down the floor.
Taya Bolden's riding 4 straight games with double-doubles. It's been almost 10 years since the last player had 5 straight for Campbell history. Bolden with another rebound, give her 6. Love the pace and the rhythm of this game.
It's got a good flow to it, up-tempo.
Final minute of this first half.
Look at the pressure on Bolden over here.
Rebecca Tillett saying her defense has to step up for Longwood to play well. They're showing it tonight, and despite the bucket from Bolden, now a 3-point game.
Bolden coming up big here and knocking that one in.
Taya Bolden missed the Big South opener, but came back strong with 12 and 11 on Saturday.
She's getting a lot of pressure inside.
Boy, Coleman doing everything with a steal. Runs the break, finds Serrano, and that's good basketball.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Coleman, great defender. Good team effort defensively by Campbell.
She had the steal, the assist, doing everything right. And Anya gives it away. That is 12 Longwood turnovers. Also sparks a 6-0 Campbell run that Drea Anderson loves.
Turnover ratio has really been big. Watch again the extended defense of Longwood. They're not wanting Campbell to go down easily here. They're wanting to take some time off the clock here as we end this quarter.
Especially with Campbell holding for the final shot. Calhoun, another strip, and gets the turnover. Here comes Akela, up through traffic with the foul.
Wow, what a pick by Calhoun there at half court.
Setting up Akela Smith. She's up to 8 points.
Wow, great effort. I tell you, Smith's as agile as a guard going to the basket.
What a response for Longwood. That's a 5-6 point swing in the closing seconds.
Yeah, this is going to be a barn burner for sure.
Smith misses the and one. Last chance for the Camels, tightly contested, and it'll end the second quarter. Do not sleep on these two clubs, the two undefeated teams left in the Big South. And they're playing like it in this first half. Our Geico halftime report gets started when we come back. Good three-point ball game here at the break. Tight game at halftime in a matchup of undefeated Big South teams. Campbell leads by 3. They closed the half on a 6-2 run. We told you it'd be good offense versus good defense, and man, the defense has come to play. Here with Wanda Watkins, I'm Evan Budrovich. Longwood forced 5 steals, a couple of those late in the half as well, and this game had some physicality. What a dynamic defensive matchup.
Yeah, really. I mean, when Campbell went up by 5 late in the half, you know, you were thinking maybe they're going to go into halftime with a lead here, and the next thing you know, Longwood's creating and making steals and plays, and we're in for a ball game. And that's the way it's been the entire half.
14 combined steals. It's both teams as well, not just one or the other. And
yeah.
Wanda, let's dive back into those keys to the game, because you mentioned early on the effort and the intensity Longwood needed to win. We've seen that from the bench. And then from Campbell's standpoint, no Shai Tooley. Well, 7 players have scored instead.
Yeah, great team effort by Campbell. Longwood did exactly as we thought they would. They'd extended their defense. They really got out and started pressuring. And Campbell, the likes, you know, always a good defensive team showing up big. I'd say defense has been the name of the game this half.
That's why this Campbell team ranks top 10 in the country in scoring defense. That'll be tested in the next 20 minutes. When we come back, we'll give you some highlights from a entertaining first 20 minutes of play. Welcome back inside Gore Arena. Remember, no fans allowed inside this building for the next week plus. But a reminder, Hercules Tires is a proud sponsor of this Big South broadcast. Ingles, low prices, love them savings. Sunbelt Rentals, we have equipment for that. And we have plenty of seats as well. First Citizens Bank, forever first. Luckily, come January 20th, hopefully, Campbell University campus will reopen the facility and allow for more fans. Nonetheless, what a great first half we've had with the Smithfield's highlights and wanted a lot of pressure defensively, but some nice offense as well for both teams.
Yeah, it's really been fun to watch. Just the versatility of both these teams, the depth of both these teams, and how they complement each other out on the floor. Defense that we talked about has really been key in this game, and we've seen quite the few steals.
14 combined steals. Campbell forced 12 turnovers, and then Serrano got hot. 9 points in the first half.
That was a big bucket for Campbell. She hit that right on the 30-second horn.
Kyla McMakin, a slow start to her game, and this was the craziest play of the half. Coleman does everything.
She just tipped it out and then hit Serrano down the court. Pretty exciting play, but very up-tempo game.
Faith Price, that was her first 3 of the half. And then Longwood gets going late. McMakin can do so many things well, like that bank shot.
Fun player to watch. She can create, and then nice to see Nuremberg knock that 3 in from deep.
That gave Campbell the lead at the break. And a reminder, Mountain Dew, drink a refreshing Mountain Dew today, the official beverage partner of the Big South, especially on game day. So no matter where you're cheering on your team, it's always a good time for a Dew. Mountain Dew, do the Dew. I know what you should do. Come back in a couple of minutes. We have the second half next. When you ask yourself, what's the difference between these two clubs? 3 points score. Here's where this game has had a difference. Campbell's made 3 more shots from 3-point range. However, the turnovers both teams have forced have kept this first half very competitive.
Really, that's really about the biggest difference that you can see. I mean, it's been nip and tuck the entire game. Both teams have played off their defense and created big plays for themselves through their defense, and I suspect the second half will be no different.
Campbell playing without senior guard Shai Tooley, so 7 different players have scored. Longwood's led by 8 from McMakin and 8 from Akilah Smith. It's sort of what we thought, right? A balanced scoring team versus an elite dynamic duo.
Yeah, absolutely. Campbell showing a great amount of depth and versatility without Tooley, and they've done that time and time again throughout their season thus far. And certainly Longwood is just a force to be reckoned with. Another tremendous team in the league. It's a great matchup.
So, Wanda, here's what these two teams have done very well this year. Campbell's scoring defense, top 10 in the country. Everyone's chasing Georgia Tech as the best defensive team. And for Longwood this year, they have forced a good amount of turnovers, second in the Big South behind Campbell. So when you look at those numbers, what has played well for these teams tonight?
Well, I think they've created good chemistry. Both teams have created good chemistry, and I sound a little bit like I'm repeating myself, but I think both teams have created good chemistry through their effort and their defensive effort in particular, and that has given them, I think, more offensive intensity throughout the game. Certainly it would be a higher scoring game had it not been such a tremendous defensive effort by both teams, but nonetheless it's been very exciting and a fun game to call, and a fun game, I'm sure, for our viewers to watch.
So Campbell has won 14 of the 15 meetings here at home. What does Longwood do in the second half to try to break that trend?
Well, I think they got to get, keep Smith and McMakin really, really involved and work hard to, from a defensive standpoint, to force some turnovers on Campbell that they can create to offensive points down at the other end of the floor.
Look at Calhoun running the court, and Longwood, to your point, gets right to it offensively. McMakin is stripped. Possession stays here. There's Michaela Coleman, who's been a thorn in the side of Kyla McMakin basically for 3 straight years.
Yeah. I mean, just a tremendous defender. We saw a good example of that on that play where she made a decisive play that kept her from scoring, going to the basket that time.
So McMakin is the 2-time leading scorer in the conference. She averages 11 points a game when these teams meet.
Yeah, phenomenal.
Clock approaching 10.
Campbell coming out of halftime, really playing with a lot of defensive intensity on the half court here.
Neither team yet to score in this first minute. A rematch of the Big South semifinal in the spring. Campbell won that one by 15 here at home. In what Rebecca Tillett called a terrible offensive performance. Her club really watched that tape, looking for improvement, as Price hits her first 3.
I think she had her electric blanket or something on her hand at halftime, Evan. She came out ready to go.
No one shoots the 3-pointer better than Faith Price in the Big South. 41%. Nice kick out from Akilah to Tre'Dasia Smith. Not many easy shots for Longwood either in this first half. Finished at 38%. McMakin poked loose, and there's Coleman.
Coming up big again for Campbell, turns into a layup at the other end of the floor.
And the 6th-year senior runs the court for an and one.
I tell you what Coleman is doing is so impressive is she is not allowing McMakin to worm her way and get to the basket. She can't get, she's having trouble and difficulty getting to the basket, and converts that defensive steal into a layup for Campbell at the other end of the floor.
Transition points, a huge part of this game. 20, in fact, for Campbell. That's a big chunk of the offense in transition.
That it is.
Now can Longwood respond? Timeout, Rebecca Tillett.
Good timeout there by Coach Tillett.
We'll take the timeout. A 5-0 start for Campbell here in the third quarter. Pulling away on ESPN+. now Pepsi presents What Fans Like, because Pepsi knows what fans like. Make sure you pick up an ice cold refreshing Pepsi today. Pepsi, that's what I like. Of course, for the next week, no fans allowed in attendance at Campbell University sporting events. Ronnie Fisher's club forces a 5-second violation out of a timeout. And if you're Rebecca Tillett, your team gives up an 8-0 run, you just call timeout. That's the last thing you want to see.
Yeah, it makes it a little bit tough for sure. Campbell's really come out after halftime and has really upped the ante defensively and really playing with a lot of intensity on the half-court defense.
Ronnie Fisher called this matchup a championship-level test. Two undefeated teams. Price, catch and shoot. 2 triples to start the second half.
Hey, Campbell did a great job that time coming off that half-court trap where they're running and jumping, reversing the basketball and finding the open Price.
So Faith Price, a Big South leading 33 triples. So effective from deep. And without Shai Tooley, has really stretched the court. Calhoun's turn, and that's an air ball. This is not an ideal start for Longwood in the second half.
I tell you, and I told Coach Fisher this the other day, Campbell's third quarter last few games has been unreal.
They've averaged a 15-point difference in the third quarter here in the conference. Bolden beats Smith. Who denies her? Wow, what a block. Here comes Smith back up the court, finding an open Johns for the lay-in, and it's Tre'Dasia Smith setting it up. Can't go wrong guessing a Smith makes a play for Longwood. She's done everything.
Mere steal that time by McMakin.
Serrano sets up Price.
Look out.
And for the 8th time this year, Faith Price with 3 or more triples.
Wow.
Wanted an infectious shooter. How does she open up this offense?
She is so confident, you know, and the three-pointer can really change a game so quickly, especially when you got a hot hand like Price. Now here we see Longwood attempt one.
Bounces out. McMakin cleans it up. Double digits, now 10.
Watch the pressure of Longwood. We'll see if they jump this time.
So McMakin in double figures. For believe this or not, I mean, this is crazy. 64 times in her career in just 81 games.
Impressive. In every sense of the word.
Coleman
there goes Coleman.
Blows by McMakin.
That's what Coleman's got to do. She's got to find the basket. She's got to make those layups happen. And
Coleman, a career 1.5 point per game scorer, has tripled that tonight.
Tell you, she's playing both ends of the floor very well.
Smith contested, out of bounds. What a play by Brittany Staves. Because remember, Akila Smith dominated the first half, and she's had very little touches here in the second.
Yep. And it's going to be big for Longwood to get her involved. I mean, Smith needs to be involved. McMakin needs to be involved. And we'll see what kind of magic Calhoun can work defensively. Here's the pressure.
The leader in steals in the Big South, Kennedy Calhoun. Ooh, Price thought about it. Look at her bench behind her. Bolden with good position. Gets Calhoun, comes up short.
Don't be surprised if things open up a little more for Bolden with as hot as Price is out on the perimeter. It's going to be tough to help off.
So Ann Hamilton-Leroy comes in and gives it away with a foul for Akila Smith. That's a big one, her second.
Yeah.
And what a defensive change by Ronnie Fisher. He puts Brittany Staves on Akila Smith and leaves Bolden on another offensive play.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Fisher's, you know, he's smart, he's methodical, and he changes it all around. And, I mean, it's hard for one player to guard somebody in the entire game anyway of that nature. And Campbell has a lot of defensive weapons, and he's utilizing those very well in this game.
Just across the timeline. Good pressure here from Milu Venema, the Netherlands product, her first minutes. Here's a steal for Smith. Akila does it all for Longwood. Runs in transition for the bank.
You wonder if she's going to go up there and stuff it the way she can get up.
Akila Smith has been known to dunk in practice. The Lancers posted on Instagram last summer her ability to dunk in transition. That'd be fun to watch, but do it all forward. Kind of has like a Martian-like description. Can play every position, out of this world. The Serrano beats the defense.
Campbell's doing a good job of creating, getting to the basket, Longwood's got to come across and help a little more on those layups.
So Wanda in conference, Saranya is now averaging 9 a game with 7 assists. Where has this come from the senior?
You know, I just think that she's such a catalyst for Campbell. She does so many things well, and just a little floor general out there for Campbell, and plays so many minutes. You know.
Luana Saranya taking over in this third quarter. Campbell out to its largest lead here in the third.
In sports,
we are used to an even playing field.
Unfortunately,
off the field,
court, track,
closed.
not all people are treated fairly.
In the Big South Conference,
we commit to using our voices
to oppose injustices and inequalities.
Join us as we champion change
towards ensuring even playing fields
in and out of sports.
The Big South Conference,
we're allies,
we're advocates,
where winners are made.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
Big things are happening this year across the South, from the mountains to the coast. The fast are getting faster. The strong are getting stronger. And the best is getting better. Get ready to raise your expectations. Get ready for something big. Ingalls, a proud sponsor of Big South football.
We are not merely an institution of higher education. We are transforming lives and empowering students to become leaders.
Leaders in our communities,
in our state, and throughout the world.
Leaders in innovation.
Leaders in service to our neighbors.
Join our movement. Join our community. Join our mission. Lead with purpose. Lead with Campbell.
My most defining moment, I think, was when I became SGA president. I am the first woman of color to be SGA president, so it was the most pivotal moment of my life, I think, so far.
In whatever field that I see students pursuing at Longwood, there's moments in their experience where it clicks and their lives are transformed.
I joined the student-run broadcast center, and then from there, it has just been opportunity after opportunity to grow as a professional and be a better person in the process.
Campbell out to its largest lead of 12. And here's Luana Saranya.
She's quite, like I said, just a great floor general for Campbell. Very heady player. Makes everybody around her better. Very unselfish. And just does what her team needs for her to do. And oftentimes is guarding one of the toughest people to defend throughout a basketball game. And it never shows on her offensive end. She's still able to maintain that for her team.
To cap off the night, a perfect 11 points on 5 of 5 shooting.
Yeah, hadn't missed a shot all night.
Let's see if the broadcaster's jinx is alive and well. Back to a 10-point game. Longwood has faced adversity before. 2 come-from-behind wins in conference play. And a foul here drawn by Staves. And it's Anya with her first.
3 team fouls for Longwood.
And that's been a key, avoiding free throws. Longwood allows more free throws to opponents than any team in the league. Campbell has shot way better from the line at 67%.
Campbell's doing a good job of spreading the floor and reversing the ball, making it hard for them to move their traps back across.
How about this scoring from Coleman, 6 for the senior.
Coleman is getting to the basket. Doing a great job for
Had to check my notes. Coleman hasn't hit 6 all season. And here she is breaking out. Remember, no Cheyenne Tui, the top senior scorer for Campbell, out with an ankle injury. And Kennedy Calhoun turns it over. 16 giveaways here in the first 30 minutes. That's a high number for Longwood.
Been the name of the game. Been a big difference in the basketball game.
What has Campbell done in this third quarter? They're +9 to start to pull away in this game.
Well, I just think they, you know, Price has opened things up for them from three-point territory. That's got everybody else really relaxed. And just playing well. Coleman and Serrano getting to the basket, hitting easy layups, making those count.
You mentioned the foul issues. One away from the bonus as Serrano drives the harm.
Yeah.
And Campbell's last win against Charleston Southern, they made 7 threes. So clearly that was the big part of success. They also forced 21 turnovers. Here they are tonight, forcing 16 of them.
Yeah. Defense always is big for Campbell, and I think it plays into their offense so well.
Clock under 10. Nuremberg left wide open. Had it just rattled out. Coleman had it for a moment. Fuller finds the board and gets it in.
You think Coleman gives that assist on that one?
What an effort play from Campbell down low. Doesn't matter who's on the court for Ronnie Fisher. His team has stepped up tonight. There's a tip by Nuremberg. McMakin on the island sitting with 10 points. Nice crossover. And she traveled.
Yep.
Has to be frustrating if you're Longwood, a team that has been so hot offensively. Just can't find it tonight.
No. Campbell's defense is continuing to come up big for them. You know, they're making it really hard for McMakin to get to the basket. And I think that's been a big difference in the second half. They just really made it hard for her to get there.
Campbell's leading scorer, Faith Price, on the bench with 14 points. So Serrano steps up in her place, breaks down the D. Nice kick around to Fuller, who goes back to Serrano, and she hits the three.
Hey, I believe they faced the zone that time for the first time, and Campbell showing their weapons out on the perimeter.
Back the other way, Milu Venema with a layup.
Yeah, good
that
transition.
Stops the 7-0 run. Remember, this is the three-point game of the break. Campbell's exploded in this third quarter.
It's a wide 2-3 looks like. Watch the trap.
That's a travel violation. Ronnie Fisher mentioned it took his team a whole half to adjust to the zone that Charleston Southern ran. Held Campbell to 25 points. Where have you seen the adjustments here tonight?
Well, you know, the first time that we saw that zone, it was very wide, and Campbell did a good job of getting gaps and drawing two people and creating their open look for Serrano.
Here's a foul on the screen. So Campbell commits its second of the quarter. That's a big key defensively too, because you can play physical, then to not make the mistakes with the fouls, that's also important.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Getting to the free throw line is...
Oh, McMakin catch and shoot. Nope.
Icing on the cake.
Last touch by Price. Every shot Kyla McMakin takes, you have to sit there and just watch it. She can shoot from anywhere.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and she's got the green light, I think. When she gets off the bus, she can go.
Rebecca Tillett describing McMakin this year with her growth. It said she's taken more time to make the better play than I've ever seen. Not just her own shot, but setting up teammates.
Yeah, I mean, really an unselfish player. And
Tredeja throws it away, but it is tipped.
An unselfish player who can score relentlessly, but is really happy to find her teammates open as well. Good hustle by our official, Karen Prato.
Karen Prato ran a 4.5 40. There's no one in the arena to grab the basketball. Clock down to 5. McMakin can make shots from 3. Late in the clock, she's blocked, and that's a violation. Taya Bolden that time defensively.
Again, another good defensive stand by Campbell.
So Kyla McMakin, 1 of 5 shooting in this half, and that's been a challenge for Rebecca Tillett's club, overcoming emotional adversity in games.
Well, you know, she's got a veteran club. I'm sure this game is not over by a long shot, but Campbell's really extending their lead, and look at the way that they're reversing the basketball.
Yeah. As Nuremberg misses the 3, and Bolden's got the board. Stolen by McMakin.
Oh, beautiful.
She read that perfectly. Now can Longwood take advantage? A rare fast break chance. And McMakin comes up strong. Well, Kyla's in double figures with 10. It has been a hard 10 points.
Yeah, quiet 10.
Meanwhile, Faith Price, a productive 14. Serrano also has 14.
Watch Campbell work that zone, driving the gaps, creating. There it is, the
Sets
extra
up
pass.
Price, and it's short. I think if you're Ronnie Fisher, you have to like the possession despite the miss.
Oh, absolutely.
Tre'Dasia Smith on the run. Oh, my gosh. Now, how does Brittany Staves grab that ball and not foul?
Yeah.
I just, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You're literally reaching at the last second, and you knock it away.
Yeah.
If the ball stays here.
Longwood working hard now. Really going to try to work hard, I'm sure, to try to get this thing back to single digits.
Akila Smith throws it away, and Longwood up to 19 turnovers. They average as a team only 16 a game. So a big hill to climb in this third quarter.
Yeah. Watch the pressure again. Campbell spreading the floor wide.
Coleman weaving through every defender.
Ooh.
And just across the timeline. There's a steal for Anya. And that pressure pays off. Tre'Dasia Smith with 10. Venema up top to Smith. Anya with great position. Spins on Coleman and is fouled. Good post play by the sophomore from Gaithersburg, Maryland.
Yeah, good high-low look from Smith to her.
Longwood wants to stop a 2-minute scoring drought to end this third quarter. And Brooke Anyus, 42% from the free throw line. Gets her first.
Wow, you never know it from the touch on that one, would you? Beautiful rotation on the ball.
Those numbers are a bit skewed, 10 of 19. So very minimal attempts. But productive here tonight off the bench as she makes both. End of quarter plays have been huge for both teams.
Yeah.
An important 3 seconds left in the
Sure,
third.
going to see a lot of man-to-man pressure here. Trying to keep Campbell from getting off a good shot.
Bolden turns with one, gets it off in time. And we go to the fourth quarter. Neither team great offense late in the third, but Campbell scores 22 in the third quarter. They now lead by 13.
Where's my
24 men's and women's teams start 2 championships on the line in one venue. 2022 Hercules Tires Big South Championships at Bojangles Coliseum. Got to get your tickets at BigSouthSports.com/CLT-Champs. That'll be a good week coming up in March. Campbell wants to be a top seed in that tournament. It's their second straight year starting 2-0 in the conference. Looking for another 3-0 start with a win here tonight.
Well, this should be a great quarter of basketball. I think Campbell did a real good job that half of taking away point productivity from Smith and McMakin. Both those players only scoring 2 points in that quarter. That's huge for Campbell.
And their offense stepped up, 22 in the third. Longwood, meanwhile, turnovers, 8 giveaways in the third quarter.
Yeah, and Campbell, a lot of their point productivity came off those turnovers and layups created by Campbell guards.
Staves opens up the fourth with a missed 3. And Bolden scraps on the floor with Calhoun. Good save from Longwood. Kennedy Calhoun, the reigning freshman of the week, kicks to Venema. And the Lancers cannot buy a 3. There's a foul on Nuremberg. So her second. That is a defensive foul on Nuremberg. And that's what makes Akila Smith so tough to guard. Every play contested. So McMakin throws it in. She's sitting on 10 points. Only 2 in that third quarter.
Always remember to watch the inbounder. The inbounder is always a dangerous person.
Ronnie Fisher said his team spent extra time in practice scouting out of timeout plays and out of inline, out of bounds plays. Nice finish from Smith, who's hacked, and Akila goes to the line.
She came from across the paint to pick up that one that I believe Calhoun threw back into her. Good effort by Longwood that time.
Akila Smith can defend the 1 through the 5 position, and she can score all over the court. Such a unique talent for Rebecca Tillett.
Yeah, she probably could play the 1 through the 5 too if she needed her to.
Maybe the only flaw in her game is free throw shooting. 71%, which if that's her only mishap, I would take that 7 days a week.
Yeah, a lot of players would love to take that free throw percentage from her.
In fact, she shoots better than Campbell's entire team.
Yeah, of course, a lot of Longwood players shoot in the upper 80s from free throw.
Kyla McMakin owns the program record, 84% in a single season, as Bolden's fouled.
Tredasia not too far behind her either from free throw line.
Keep an eye on the team fouls in this fourth quarter. Once you get to 5, it's free throws the rest of the way. And Longwood can ill afford to get in foul trouble in this fourth quarter. Campbell has made 8 3-pointers tonight, but they pounded into Bolden for the layup.
Yeah, no help on the backside that time made it easier for Bolden to get that and go to the basket because she was being fronted.
Bolden held scoreless for all but 1 minute of the first half. She now has 8 and nearing her 5th straight double-double. Tredasia Smith weaves through and a little contact. Campbell ball. Look at Bolden all by herself. Oh, nice defense. Price finishes it off.
I tell you, Campbell's defense is really creating a lot for them on offensive end now.
Points on turnovers, name of the game. Campbell plus 8 in that department.
Their defense has got another steal by Coleman. Their defense has really gotten Longwood a little bit out of sync.
Setting up Serrano. Campbell has dominated in fast break points.
Turnovers are creating layup points at the opposite end.
Plus 15 off of turnovers. Just too easy in transition. Rebecca Tillett said this is the biggest test of the year for Longwood. How do they match up with some of the best in the conference?
Now she got to the basket that time, but
McMakin a slow second half. It's just too easy in transition. Coleman, no. Gets her own rebound and she's fouled. So off the first miss of the game for Serrano, Coleman cleans it up.
I was a little distracted. I was watching Serrano over there who had taken that charge off the ball there. having conversation with the official. Friendly conversation with the official, but nonetheless conversation.
I appreciate when two strong basketball teams are allowed to play. Whistles aren't taken over. Staves on the switch.
Look
gets
out.
a wide open jumper. Bolden has the rebound. So now she has 10 boards, a point away from another double-double. Clock under 10. Serrano guarded by the freshman of the week and Kennedy Calhoun. Gets past her, sets up Staves, and offensive. Anya sets her feet.
That was a nice take by Longwood. Gutsy play.
We mentioned the physicality and the effort Longwood needed. It's a prime example right there. Look at the points in the paint, +8. We thought this would be more of a three-point shooting game. It's also Campbell dominating the paint.
Yeah, and a lot of those paint points are coming off these steals that are converting to layups at the other end. These forced turnovers.
There's a foul on Anya. So Longwood in danger of foul trouble the rest of the way. That's 3 early fouls in the quarter as Campbell extends its lead on a 6-0 run.
Campbell playing at a really high pace too. Up tempo.
Not a pace that Ronnie Fisher loves per se with his team, but he has embraced that style more this year and it's starting to pay off.
They create it through their defensive effort and the turnovers that they force.
Serrano left alone. Coleman gets the rebound and McMakin nearly had it. Just watch Ronnie Fisher, folks. He is more active than any defender I've ever seen. The coach in the blue. He's jumping. He watches Bolden kick. Late in the clock. Oh, way off. Live ball turnover.
I think it was more or less a shot that had to go up with that clock going down.
I'm not sure what Tredasia was doing.
Look out.
Price runs the court and converts with a foul. Chance for 3.
And takes out the cameraman.
Something to be said about Campbell in transition tonight. 20 transition points.
Transition points have been the name of the game. I'm sure Coach Fisher's really pleased with how hard and how intense his team's played defensively, especially in the second half. It's been phenomenal. From the get-go, I'm sure a lot of coaches would love to bottle those words he had at halftime with his team.
Ronnie Fisher said this team is a championship-level test tonight against 4-0 Longwood. Well, his team has responded, up by 21. McMakin, that's a tough fadeaway. So Kyla McMakin, 5 of 17 shooting. Meanwhile, a Campbell team without senior leading scorer, Shai Tooley. Others have stepped up, especially Price with 19 points. Clock reaches 10. Serrano sets up a wide open Faith Price and add to it 5 triples.
Is the Price still right or what?
22 for Price, and she's hit everything in this second half, forcing a timeout. 9 3-pointers for Campbell. That tells the story. A huge lead as we hit the 5-minute mark of this fourth quarter. Campbell's defense forcing turnovers all over the place for our Hercules Tigers play of the game.
Yeah, great job by Saranya getting out and leading Price to the basket for that layup. We get another look. Coleman kind of tipping that, and the rest is history.
Hercules Tigers, strong move of the game. Campbell's defense has been stout defensively, forcing 3 turnovers in this quarter as McMakin clanks a 3. That's been the story. Kylie McMakin, 5 of 18 shooting tonight. Oh, there's a steal for Leroy. And can't hit the layup. Wow.
Here comes Campbell at the other end here.
I tell you though, Wanda, these are the looks that Longwood would love to have back. Some point-blank misses tonight.
Yeah. Wow.
In a physical basketball game.
Wow, a lot of contact out on the perimeter now.
Matchup of 2 undefeated Big South teams. Campbell has dominated this second half, riding a 12-0 run. Coleman with 4. Whoa, she shot it, and Smith says no.
I tell you, Coleman is getting by her defender, isn't she?
He can't get by the shot-blocking leader in the conference. 50 blocks this year for Akila Smith.
She came across to knock that one back.
Price with 1. That's an air ball.
That was a good try.
Okay, it did hit the rim. I didn't see it, but clock resets. One of the rare misses for Faith Price, and a steal. Bree Johns the other way with contact, and that is pretty.
Oh, that's a pretty pick by Johns.
Rare transition points. Give Johns 8.
Yeah, we saw a little. That was a nice pick. She came around and took that away, and then was pretty agile, going up strong with that, making the basket and getting the free throw, the old-fashioned attempt for a three-point play, but didn't get it.
Fast break points, a rarity for Longwood, but they've taken advantage there.
Yeah.
And a turnover.
Fast break points were more relevant and prevalent for Longwood in the first half, Evan, but we're not seeing that much in the second.
30 combined fast break points. We mentioned top offensive team in Longwood coming in, top defensive team. That sort of held serve. However, Longwood 1 of 15 from deep. That's tough to win a basketball game.
Yeah.
Leroy kicks out to Calhoun as Longwood searches for offense in this second half. So Johns, oh, she lets it fly. Can't hit. Saranya on the move. Good bounce pass to Bolden. There's her 5th straight double-double.
So selfless, Saranya.
10
Beautiful
points
pass.
and 12 rebounds for Taya Bolden. How about that number, Coach? Plus 10 in assists tonight.
Yeah, just so selfless, so unselfish.
There's a steal for Bolden. So Campbell leads the conference in assist to turnover ratio. Wanda, that number tonight, pretty impressive.
Yeah.
19 assists.
I think it just shows the fluidness that they have and the depth that they have and their ability just to play unselfishly as a team.
Bolden works in the block, and she traveled. However, they do have 19 turnovers in this game.
Yeah.
And that's what that man, Ronnie Fisher, will say after the game as his team moves to 3-0 in the Big South.
Yeah, well, we had a few too many turnovers, he'll say.
Matchup of 2 undefeated teams. Longwood will drop to 4-1. And it's a quick turnaround for the Lancers. They'll play Hampton on Saturday. Roy off the pick. Nice find to Akila Smith. And the scoring woes continue in this second half. Only 3 points.
Yeah. Definitely been tough for Longwood in that Smith's had only 3 points this half and McMakin only 2.
To hold the top scoring duo in the Big South to 5 points, that's incredible.
Tough. Yeah.
As they enter this game averaging 35 points a game. Sit with just 21. And Wanda, that's why this game matters tonight. The winner of this matchup really sits in a great spot 3 weeks into the conference.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this has really been an impressive win for Campbell, and I'm not sure we would have predicted this at halftime, but their defense has just been phenomenal this half.
Plus 20 in the second half. How is Campbell's defense locked in even more in the last 20 minutes?
Well, I think their defense has created layups at the opposite end, and that's a high percentage shot, and those are hard to miss.
Saranya was tripped, so Longwood in the bonus the rest of the way. Campbell joins them. And free throws here for Saranya.
Saranya kind of biting her lip there, trying to maintain her emotion.
How about the offensive performance for Saranya? 16 points, 6 assists, and it's come without her top scoring duo in Shai Tooley.
Well, and I think, you know, Saranya could probably do that every night if needed. But what makes her so valuable is when you need her most is when she does it. Whether it be get to a basket for a shot in a late game situation or pick up the slack when Tooley goes down. Just a really valuable player for Campbell.
She goes 1 of 2, battling a cramp. Maybe the only thing she's done wrong tonight. A little hydration break.
Hey, she plays a lot of minutes, and she's got to be in great shape.
Top 5 in the league in minutes, 34 a night. McMakin on the crossover is off. Rebecca Tillett loves what McMakin can do offensively. Win, lose, or draw, and we've seen that a bit in this fourth quarter.
And we see Dock was in for Campbell.
And a steal for Jessie Germano, the Sao Paulo, Brazil native. Ship off on the 3, and that's a tough number. 1 of 18 from deep.
Yeah.
That'll be a season low for the Lancers.
What do you got to lose? You know, at this stage in the game, you want to probably try and put it up.
Good hustle by Calhoun, and Fuller steps out. Even late in this basketball game, the effort from Kennedy Calhoun is vital.
Yeah, really good defender. You know that when you look at their stat sheets and those 45 steals jump out at you pretty quickly. She's averaging 3 steals a game. And
18th in the country in steals, chasing Angel Parker of Tennessee, who averages 5 steals a night. Those two are dynamic as Ship airballs a 3, and the shooting woes continue for Longwood.
Yeah, just a little out of sync right now, definitely.
How does Longwood bounce back on Saturday against Hampton?
Hey, it's a new day. You know, you're never as good as you are when you win. You're never as bad as you are when you lose. You got to always remember that. And every game is important, and every game is a game. So I'm sure Coach Tillett will be preaching that to her team.
Final minute, Campbell goes to its bench. Fitzgerald, along with Anderson. She has the ball right now. And a Zuma check in with a kick ball. On a neat story for Jessie Germano. Began her career at Southern Utah, went to Iowa Western, and now ends up at Longwood here in her 3rd season. Both teams emptying the bench in a very busy week of Big South play. 3 games in the next 8 days for both teams.
A lot of games. Short amount of time.
There's a good pass to Azuma, and her first bucket in Big South play.
Yeah, good feed by Fuller.
We have a inadvertent whistle, I believe. So adding an extra second to the clock. Every second matters here down the stretch.
That it does.
There's a turnover for Kennedy Calhoun. So Campbell forces 24 turnovers tonight, and they've held Longwood scoreless for the last 3 minutes of this game.
I tell you, shuffling players in and out, and Campbell comes in, they just always play with so much intensity, and they don't lose a whole lot when they shuffle players in and out. I think it shows their depth. Now, that's a good defensive stand by Longwood.
Fuller had no options, and she gives it away. So Longwood in danger of scoring its lowest point total of the year. That previous number was 56 points against Iowa State, top 20 team in the country.
Yeah.
Different story tonight as there's an air ball from Calhoun and the foul on the court. Fitzgerald called for her first. What impressed you most about Campbell's intensity on the defensive end?
What impressed me the most was when they came out from the second half. It looked to me like their intensity level went up about 3 notches. Made me wonder a little about what Coach Fisher might have told them in the locker room, but they never lost that in the half, and it led from one steal to one layup, from another to another layup, over and over and over again. It was really the decisive difference in the second half of the game because it was a 3-point game at halftime.
That has ballooned quickly in this fourth quarter.
And I think, too, you know, Price, when she opens it up with those 3-point shots, it gets everybody else relaxed.
And 22 points does the job. 5 3-pointers.
Yeah, definitely.
One shy of her career high, 23 all-time.
Campbell busting through the press.
Anderson, nice pass to Fitzgerald.
What a pass.
And we have another clock malfunction. Nothing slowing down Campbell in transition. 20 fast break points tonight.
Oh, a beautiful pass by Anderson that time.
Final seconds of this fourth quarter. Campbell absolutely dominant here at home. Longwood, the top scoring team coming in, held to 41 points, a new season low. And Campbell rides a 19-3 run to end this basketball game. They dominate in the second half and are now 3-0 in conference play.
Big win for Campbell. I'm sure there'll be things they can continue to build on in this game, and I'm sure there'll be things that Longwood will be able to build upon in this game too. Both teams have to get ready for the next game. And
so Faith Price with a season and best 22 points. Longwood's top scoring duo of McMakin and Akila Smith held to only 22 points. Campbell dominates in transition.
I'm sorry, Evan Coleman really came up with some big plays for Campbell early in the second half. And there we see Price just widening that lead and blowing it apart with her 3-point shooting ability.
Faith Price, the story of this basketball game with 22. For Wanda Watkins, I'm Evan Budrovich saying good night from Gore Arena, where the final score is Campbell 69, Longwood 41. This is a presentation of ESPN. Watch it on the ESPN app. Campbell moves to 3-0 in Big South play.
All right, Evan. I enjoyed it.